Welcome to the Just Add Spice kitchen. I'm so excited you're here for this new recipe. Today we're going to be making shrimp curry in a coconut milk curry sauce. So let's get started and look at all the ingredients that we have going here. It's pretty quick and easy once you have everything prepped. So what we're going to do is take maybe a 2-pound bag of shrimp. It's raw shrimp, peeled and deveined. We're going to create a curry base first before we add that shrimp. Here's our ingredients for the curry base. We have some curry paste, mild spice blend. I make most of my recipes mild and it's not too spicy, but if you need to adjust and kick up the spice level, please feel free to do so. I also have some crushed tomatoes here. This mixture has onion, garlic, ginger, green chili, and curry leaves in it, and then 2 vine-ripe tomatoes. I also have coconut milk here. It's about a 13-ounce can of coconut milk. And so now let's head over to the stove and get started. So I have some olive oil sizzling in the pot with some mustard seeds and fennel seeds. And when it hits the sizzling oil, it's gonna start blooming its spices and imparting that flavor in the oil. So I'm gonna put a lid on it so that nothing splatters. Now it's sizzling. I'm going to add this onion mixture carefully. I have the heat at about medium, and I'm going to turn it down a little bit just so you don't burn anything. And we're going to wait for these onions to caramelize a little bit, and that green chili will get that vibrant green color, and the curry leaves will impart some flavor. Ginger and garlic are in there as well. So all these aromatics are going to help create that base for that curry. We're going to add the spice mixture in. Now the reason we're going to add the spice mixture in now is so that it can absorb into that onion mixture, let those spices bloom. The heat activates the spices and the flavor is then dissipated throughout. And so we're going to let the spices bloom on lower heat so that we're not burning any spices. We want that raw smell of the spices to dissipate. And so we're going to make sure everything blends happily together. As that's going, we can add the chopped tomatoes. The chopped tomatoes combined with the crushed tomatoes actually gives us a nice sauce consistency, which is what we know as curry. And the smell is just really nice and aromatic, and so imparts that curry flavor that we all know. And once we add the coconut milk, the spice level will be milder. You can raise the heat at this point to medium, and the tomatoes will break down, and once it breaks down, we will have more of a uniform mixture. So just an added portion of the spice blend would be this curry paste, and just enhancing that extra curry flavor, still on the milder side. This curry paste also has a little tomato base to it, so it's nice that it can infuse that extra flavor into the curry. Now, as you can see, the tomatoes that we added have broken down, and it's working its magic throughout the pot. At this point, I'm going to add that coconut milk. And you're going to see that the coconut milk added to this will change the color slightly so that orangish yellow, beautiful golden color to the curry. Smells really good. So into this curry mixture, I have also added some salt. I added the salt off camera, so Just go by your seasoning to taste. And then I added salt to season the shrimp. And I also am going to just crack some black pepper to the shrimp. And give it a little bit of a toss just to mix it all in. And just impart some flavor to that shrimp. And you can see now that this curry is now coming to a boil. This is the time you want to add the shrimp. And sometimes the shrimp will release some water, so you want to make sure to check on the shrimp. It doesn't take too long for the shrimp to cook. You don't want to just dump the shrimp into the curry mixture because you will get splattered with curry. So you want to gently place the shrimp in there. You also don't want to break up the shrimp, so gently placing it avoids that. And like I said, shrimp doesn't take very long to cook. Once it starts boiling, you pretty much don't even have to mix a lot. You just have to gently stir. And then in about 10 to 12 minutes, you should have a nice shrimp curry because it'll actually cook the shrimp, and you don't want to overcook it. It'll be rubbery. So you want to cook it so that it's just tender and curled up, and you'll know when you see it whether it's cooked or not. So I'm just nestling the shrimp into this curry, if you see. And if I need to add water at some point during the cooking process, I will do that. But so far, I just want to see if this shrimp is going to release any of water on its own. And I'm going to put a lid on it. My heat is at medium and wait about 10 to 12 minutes. I'll check it halfway through and go from there. So checking on the halfway point, it is boiling nicely. And the shrimp, if you take one out, it has curled up. And so I think a couple of more minutes just to reduce some of this liquid. But as it sits, once it's cooked, the liquid will thicken because we have the coconut milk in there to thicken up this liquid. And as it cools down, the liquid will thicken up and become more of a thicker curry. But right now, I'm going to give it a couple of more minutes. As you can see, that shrimp is curled up beautifully. And then we'll plate it up. So here we have it. We have this beautiful shrimp curry that we made. It was pretty quick once prep was all done, and it's just really nice and hot right now. I'm just gonna work on getting this to the table while it's nice and hot. Serve it with some rice or some roti or chapati. Serve it with whatever you like. Just make sure you serve it while it's hot. It will sit in the fridge maybe for a day or two, but it won't last that long because shrimp curry usually goes pretty quickly in our house. But it's a coconut-based curry and it's coconut milk, so it kind of tones down that spice level for those of you who want a milder, spicy palate. But check out this recipe. I hope you go to jessaddspice.com to check out the recipe and share it. I'm also on Instagram at jessaddspice. I'm on YouTube at jessaddspice as well. So don't forget to check out the recipe on www.jessaddspice.com. See you in my next video. Thanks, bye.